I don't know. I could put it on YouTube. I've got a channel, but I have 2 subscribers, and they're both me.
Heck, I've always thought about it.
Dude, yeah, I mean...
And film in flights, and then it could give you a little bit more, what do you call it? Business to us anyways.
Yeah.
Alright, so what we're going to do now is, before that, we'll just do a clean up. So we'll go flaps up, and we'll go, we can leave the lights where they are, and everything else is off. We'll just make
nav lights on?
Yeah, you can put nav lights on if you want. Yep, and then same thing as the Piper. So half left, half up. This is your instrument check.
Right.
So half left, half up, and it's a 2 indication to pointing to 150,
yep.
Which it is. And then we have 60 gallons on board. That's just fine. 2 gallons. That's reading quick. Then we can just go enter. Now it's going to run through its GPS check.
Yep.
And we can come down here, make sure our database is fine, which we're good till January 26th. We'll press enter again.
Do you have to put in like an SD card to update it or something?
Yeah, basically this one right here. We'll take these out and then go update it on a computer, and then that's all it is.
Hanover traffic,
half left, half up, with a 2 indication, and it should be 15, but it doesn't matter on this one because you have to set it anyways.
Down to about 3,500 feet.
Enter, that's all good.
Below.
Now it's going to go back to normal, and then now it's doing its RAM check. Now we can go to this one. This one's going to expire January 26th as well, and I just press enter on this one, and it does its thing.
Oh,
and I like it because whenever you land, it shows your taxi diagram.
Big taxi, yeah.
And it also shows your traffic.
Oh, perfect.
All right, so after start, that should be a good flow. We'll get the weather.
All right. Oh, it's already out.
Yep.
Clear below 12,000. Temperature 11 Celsius. Dew point -10. Altimeter 3022.
You've got brakes over there, right?
Yep. 3022. So on this one, basically what you do is hit Barrow, and now you're
Warrenton, Fauquier Airport. Automated weather observation 2104 Zulu weather wind 250 at 3 visibility 10 clear
250
below
at 3.
1.
So it's still going to be 15 just because it's a calm wind runway.
How do you do? Oh, down here.
I just yeah. So this press in heading. You got 15 in there. Press in one more time. Now we got our altitude. Like I said, we're going to go up to 4,000. And this one, press in once, you can mess with your course, but you can't, oh, well, you can because it's on. Oh, what is on? It should be on GPS, so if you have it pointing to a certain place on GPS, you can move this around.
If it's crossed out, does that mean it's not?
Yeah, it means it's not reading anything.
Okay.
And then you can press in again, and you can set an airspeed.
Okay, cool, wow.
So we'll climb out at 90 knots.
Huh?
And the push-in is starting to go on this thing, so it's kind of delicate. But then that eventually goes away, same with this one, but if you start moving it, it automatically goes to heading.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, so you're all good. Fuel's off, flaps are up. We've got the ATIS. Parking brake is already off. You don't need clearance. On.
Here you go. Here, I gotcha. Boom. Actually worked perfect.
All right.
All right, so we're ready for taxi. Oh, and then we can leave a little bit.
All right, good.
All good. Check your brakes, I'll check mine. And this one, we noticed the left brake is a little... Are we chalked?
Oh, fuck, we are.
That's all right. Here, I gotcha.
You got it?
Yep. Just edit that out.
Wasn't in the checklist. They're bright yellow. I don't know how I missed them. All right, brakes are good. Do you have controls?
My flight controls. And you'll notice it just takes a lot more left brake. Your flight control.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a lot more left brake than it does right brake.
Now, is that the brake or is that just the P factor?
It's a linkage. It's like the actual physical brake.
Oh, wow.
That we get looked at.
Zulu Lima maneuvering west of the...
Finally fixing the beacon.
Yeah. Well, the green one was out, and then the green one got fixed, and now the white one was out, we noticed yesterday. Alright. So it operates like a Cessna on the ground.
Yeah, I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to see as much over.
Oh,
that's not really the case.
Not the case at all. And actually, it makes it easier to land, to be honest. The cowling, you just hold it up, just like a Piper. I swear it lands like a Piper. Because if you notice, it has the same rudder as a Piper.
Yeah.
And a stabilator instead of an elevator. So basically, like I said, in a complex aircraft, you're operating on RPM on the ground,
right,
and then your throttle uses manifold pressure in the air.
Were they kind of? Oh, I guess I could also use that too.
Yep, I like using that.
Yeah.
It just makes it's a little more accurate, and that one's kind of hard to see. You're splitting yourself.
Yeah.
These JPIs are very nice, and then we're going to use 1.5. A little bit of a crosswind day, but not much.
Why is there more people? Oh, I keep forgetting was it today, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess most people have jobs.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Are you, so you're going full-time instructor?
Yeah, full-time instructor starting February, I think around the 8th or something like that, but I'm going to use up a lot of my time off, so I'm not working a normal schedule.
Oh, there you go. Good, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm sure that wasn't like the worst job, but this is probably
this is
far more
so
enjoyable.
Fun. Yeah, it's fun being able to fly instead of watching people fly all the time.
Yeah.
And I love this job, though. I mean, you just meet so many cool people, and so many good contacts. I wouldn't be instructing here. I would be in Aviation Adventures if it wasn't for meeting the people I did.
Yeah.
Line it up into the wind, kind of just perpendicular to the runway.
40. Oh, was it when I was here last time? Some guy was like in the most awkward position, and I just like had to wait. Like I was just at the end of the taxiway.
It's normally the maintenance man's.
Maybe it was. I think it was Aviation Ventures. It was a little Skycatcher.
Well, that sounds about right.
All right. Oh, perfect. Almost.
All right. So then power back to 1,000, and then we'll start the run-up checklist. That's just fine. Anywhere 9 to 1,000.
All right. Parking brake?
Parking brake, we'll just hold brakes.
All right. Seat backs are full upright position.
Yep. And mine are locked.
Belts are good.
I got 3 in.
Oh, these are just so much more comfortable.
Oh, and they move. So that way, even if you had
But how does it know when you're in an accident?
Oh, fast. Yeah, ouch.
All right, cabin doors good. Light controls.
All right, up and down on my side, up on my side, and then stabilator looks good.
If I'm too high, does this go down?
I believe it does. It should just be this. You moving down or up?
Nah, just the back.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Really? Huh. I don't even have one of that. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Actually, is there another one? There is another one. Right here.
Alright, I'll try that one.
To try to lift up, kind of use this right here. Lift up just a little bit of weight and put your weight on the brakes. And then try and turn it down. You're taller than most. Is that working?
Back up.
No, I messed you up there.
I know I'm not gonna go full over, but...
Yeah, it's just the knees. When you have a knee board on, it makes it even worse.
You want to hold the brakes real quick?
Yeah, I got the brakes.
I'm gonna go forward.
That's good?
Yeah, there we go.
Just flight controls, make sure you can fully do it. Yeah, you're gonna be
pull over a little bit. Alright, brake controls free and correct. Fuel quantity is checked.
Where we got full 60 gallons. That's the best part about this thing, 60 gallons.
How long could you go with it?
We could have made it back, but we would have landed with 5 gallons, which is not enough for current night. So we,
no, it's not.
So we, just by a couple gallons, but still it wasn't safe, so we stopped in Greensboro. But you can make it a good 4 hours.
Wow.
At least 4.5, I'd say.
And if it's comfortable, why would you?
I know, right?
Alright, mixture is full rich, throttle up to
throttle to 18, so the pretty standard on the run-up. We're just checking our magnetos, but we're also introducing the prop, and I'll get more into that once we check our magnetos.
Alright, there's 18. Left.
Drop of about 60, 70.
Both. Right?
Drop of about 80. So that's plus or minus 50 between the two, and it's plus or minus 150. So now we're going to cycle the prop. Now what we're looking for in the prop is just warming up the oil. We're warming up the oil, but we're going to get a couple of indications. We're going to get a drop in RPM, because we're obviously moving the propeller, that's our RPM. We're going to get a rise in manifold pressure, and we're going to get a drop in oil pressure. So I do it twice, because it's all it, and you're not going all the way back. You're just going to where you hear a notable distance, and you can tell the difference.
Oh, I see.
So what I do is I do it twice because I'm looking for the rise in the drop in RPM, the rise in manifold pressure the first time, and then the second time I'm just looking for the oil pressure.
Gotcha.
So go ahead. Coming, keep it coming. Drop in RPM, rise in manifold pressure. Back up. And now you're looking for a drop in oil pressure. Drop in oil pressure. Now you're going back to full. There's your propeller cycled. You're just warming up the oil and making sure that it's operational. That's all you're doing.
And where's the suction? Yep.
Don't have suction because you have the ARs right here.
Yeah.
ARs and magnometer.
And I guess we'll back to 1,000.
Go back to all the way to idle. Do an idle check just to make sure. No runs perfect. Back to 1,000. That's why we need a better checklist.
Charging.
Amperages are charging.
Alright, throttle friction lock. Circle on.
Friction lock. And then basically what we'll do, I think the next thing is flight plan or something, or navigation. What we'll do is just basically do here direct enter to K highway. So that way next time we can just go procedure, select approach, and then it already pops up with whatever procedure we want to do. More than likely we'll just do an RNAV 15, which is going to be an LPV because we have WAS, I believe. Actually, let's click it. And we'll do it from Miyagi.
Alrighty.
And LPV right there. So let me clear. Alright.
Avionics off, or sorry, autopilot off, is it?
Autopilot is off. Right now, when you have autopilot, you're going to check the operation of it. So basically what I want to do is I just want to turn it on, and I want to make sure you shut it off. Because if anything, if it does anything weird in the air, we're just going to disconnect. So I'm going to turn this on, set, and then what do I want? I want mode. Oh, here. Altitude hold. Now it's on, so go ahead and click disconnect. Autopilot's off. So now we know that's working, and we'll mess with this a little later.
Oh, I thought there was electronic trim in this.
There's not, but it is convenient.
Oh yeah. Well, it's much easier than doing.
And then same thing, just above takeoff, actually a little nose down, just where it is just fine.
Perfect. All right.
All right, so we're gonna do a takeoff brief. We're gonna do a takeoff on runway 15, and actually stow this as well. Takeoff on runway 15. We got 5,000 feet available. Single engines, we are going to leave the gear down until we have a positive rate, no extra runway remaining. And a multi-engine, and that you'll get into the aerodynamics later, but you're just going to go gear up. Because even if you lose an engine, you still have one, and I want to climb, and I want to get away, and I want to be aerodynamic. And a single engine, if this engine fails, I want my gear already down. And so that way I don't have to worry about it. Our emergency extension is right here. You would basically just take out that handle, and you would just pump your little heart out. and it's kind of hard. I mean, it's rough.
That just pull open?
Yep, basically you could extend this handle, and we can actually do one if you wanted to. Basically what I would do is just pull this landing gear fuse, and then we could do an emergency extension and just indicate green. That's interesting. But yep, that's your emergency extension gear.
Perfect.
And we're fully configured, and flaps go to 10 on takeoff in this, and I'm sure it says that there, 10 is recommended. We'll just lift it gently off the ground, and we'll keep it quiet in the cabin until we get to about a safe altitude of about 800 to 1,000. Then on the climb, we're going to pull 25 squared. So we're going to go 25 on the manifold, 25 on the RPM.
Manifold first, right?
Manifold first always, and then propeller, followed by propeller. And whatever's recommended for the plane, you're not really going to mess with the propeller and have it out of sequence and too much anyways if you're flying the plane properly. What else?
Is that centered or is that too far?
That's pretty centered. It works out good. What else was I going to say? We'll climb out at 90. Like I said, 800 or 1,000, we'll pull the power back. And, on takeoff, you're not just going to, in these bigger engines, it's not even a bigger engine because you only got 200 horses. But it is slightly bigger and it has a constant speed.
Right.
You're not gonna just go full power.
Right.
You're going to go slowly line it up, and I go to 2690, 2680 if I can.
Okay. Holding the brakes?
No.
Okay.
No, you'll do that on the roll.
Okay.
You'll set it on the roll. You'll say power set, engine instruments in the green, airspeed alive.
Right.
And everything happens pretty quick.
Normal, yeah.
So it's just slowly adding this power up, because if you go all the way, it's going to go right into the red line.
Right.
And that's not good because you're over speeding the engine or the propeller. Other than that, it's just pretty normal. All right, so we can go lights, camera, action.
Rich, ooh, transponder, where are you?
Boom.
And
And you can go to altitude.
oh, perfect.
And then I go to function right here, and I'll just do, let's see, count up, and start a timer.
There you go. All right. Time's good. Doors and windows are good. No parking
First windows are closed and locked,
locked.
and you're all set.
Warrington traffic, November 555 Alpha Zulu. I am about 4 miles out to the northeast, and is there anybody in the traffic pattern?
Warrington traffic, Cardinal 309 Lima Lima is lining up in position on 15, departing the pattern to the southwest. Warrington. Alright. Yep, I got you. So clear out down the runway, clear on final, no traffic heard, no traffic observed.
Is that a car? No.
Thought it was at the end of the runway, but I think it's that other road that's at the end of the runway.
All right. Drops forward.
Warrington traffic, Cherokee, November 555 Alpha Zulu, entering at a 45 for runway 15 Warrington.
So feet off the brakes, heels on the floor, right rudder, and just watch your set your power, engine instruments in the green, and then away you go. Warrington traffic, Cardinal 309 Lima Lima is on the roll, 15, depart the pattern to the southwest, Warrington. There you go, 26, airspeed's alive, engine instruments in the green. Push that power up a little more, you dropped airspeed. There you go, now hold it there. See how it's at 27? Put that friction lock on so it doesn't move on you. There you go, and then just slowly lift it off the ground. And then we're going to climb up, we're going to get to no runway remaining, and then we're going to tap the brakes, and then call gear up. Alright, no viable runway remaining, tap the brakes, gear up. Hold your hand on that gear handle, out and up, pump running, gear unsafe, and then we're waiting for the pump to stop. Alright, gear is up, now your hand can come off the handle. Whenever you indicate something with gear, keep your hand on that handle.
4.5 mile dogleg final
and then now just pitch for 90, get a nice cruise climb. And these things, it kind of climbs like a dog. It doesn't climb very good, but you're getting somewhere. Now obstacles clear, we'll go flap up.
Warrington traffic, 555 Zulu, entering the 45-degree left downwind for runway 15. Warrington.
There's 90.
There you go, there's 90, and we'll just keep climbing at this rate. And then about 800, give it a little longer, get to a nice safe altitude, then you'll go 25 on the manifold and 25 on the 100 RPM.
900?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do it now.
Sorry, what was it again?
25 squared, so 25 manifold pressure, 2500 on the RPM.
Hanover traffic, Cessna 535.
And that prop comes back quick, and I don't use that on the prop.
Proceeding direct to
See how it goes down on you? So just it goes quick, so you just kind of touch it, and it's going to move. So get that back up to 25,
555 Alpha Zulu on the downwind for runway 15 Warrington.
Set your manifold, and then friction lock it. Don't let that thing move. And go ahead and start a right turn out.
Hanover traffic.
Clear right.
Downwind for runway 34.
And it takes a second to set your power, but get that manifold pressure first.
555 Alpha Zulu on the left base for runway 15.
25, so I'll help you out on the manifold real quick. And then go ahead and put your 25, just slowly work it back. Warrington traffic, Cardinal 309 Lima Lima, climbing out of traffic pattern altitude, departing to the southwest, last call Warrington. There's your 25 coming in, so keep it coming. Now we're not turbocharged, so like we were discussing on the ground, your manifold pressure is going to keep decreasing. So as it keeps decreasing as you climb, you're just going to slowly keep on pushing that manifold pressure forward until you can anymore.
Hanover traffic 545.
This is pretty good. You're fine. And this prop, you can dial this thing into the T. So you can put it right on that 25, and it's not going to move once you set it because it's a constant speed propeller. So there's your 25. It'll bounce between the two, but that's fine.
4, number 2.
And now you're just climbing out at a slow, and it's slow. Like you're sluggish on the climb. But you got a bigger engine. You got to keep it cool. So your CHTs are starting to come up. That's your red line for your CHTs. Your EGTs can come up as high as they want.
Beautiful.
Right? Smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth as can be. You can tell you have a lot of longitudinal axis control.
Yeah.
A lot of it, and then it feels like a Piper on the elevator.
Yeah.
And then well, whoops, never mind. But basically on these high performance airplanes, on these complex airplanes, it's basically what can I do next? What am I monitoring? I want to make sure my engine's fine first. I don't want to make sure I overspeed it. I don't want to do anything weird with that. And I want to make sure I'm getting the power that I'm desiring. Yeah, that sun is bright. Got no traffic observed.
Yeah, that's just a lot.
Oh, I know. And I mean,
traffic,
looking down and not seeing here, it's kind of cool.
555 Alpha Zulu, departing runway 15 to the southwest Warrington.
You following me? I think she is.
Hanover traffic 545 Tango Alpha is 10 to the north. Inbound for
Go ahead and go landing light, taxi light off.
What is that?
Sorry, landing light, taxi light off. You can leave everything else on.
Traffic 4 Foxtrot, left crosswind 34. Okay, traffic, Cirrus is making a left downwind departure from the area for a GPS approach.
Yeah, busy today.
Yeah, it is. Go ahead and give me a right turn. We'll kind of just do our maneuvers up to the north, so that way we're already set up for an approach, and then we'll come in for the little bit of traffic pattern practice.
Going around.
Got traffic in sight out there, but he's out in the distance, and he looks like he's turning southbound.
34, Hanover.
What was your heading?
Give me a heading. Fly off at instruments for a little bit. Give me a heading of 330.
30.
And I got your traffic.
Warrington traffic, Cherokee 555 Alpha Zulu, making a right departure to the southwest, Warrington.
Alright, we get it. And then see your manifold pressure came down a little bit as we climb, so just go ahead and inch that on forward. 25. And it's very hard. If you read into how the pilot control valve works for the propeller and how a complex or constant speed prop works, it's very hard to overspeed or underspeed.
Yeah.
It's very hard. You have to be doing something erratic. You have to accidentally pull this to be able to really actually cause some damage. And see, it just climbs like a dog.
It's a smooth climb, though.
Smooth climb. I mean, it's comfortable for passengers.
Hanover traffic, AAA uniform, turning left downwind for 34. Hanover.
So hold that 330.
54 Foxtrot is...
And 1,000 feet to go.
34, Hanover.
Oh man, that turbulence, so when I came, I think, what was it, Saturday?
Yeah.
Was so bad.
Really?
I got out to the mountains because I was going to go to Martinsburg.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I got probably 3/4 of the way there. I just turned around.
I can't blame you. It starts to bump you around just a little too, to where this isn't even enjoyable anymore.
Well, it was like the rudder trim was messing me. I was just holding left rudder so much. I forgot to pull it to reset it.
For runway 20, Maryland. Traffic dog 423.
Oh, that's interesting. In the Piper?
Yeah.
Could have been me. Whenever I was on the ground, I thought about it, and I was like, I think I screwed the next guy because Brent was complaining about too much right rudder needed. So I just cranked that rudder trim. Alright, so level off is same thing. Pitch power trim. You got off on your heading a little bit, so get that back.
Hanover traffic 545 Tango Alpha is 7 miles to the northwest, inbound for left downwind for 34 Hanover.
Easy to hyper focus on that training.
It is, because I mean you want your engine performing exactly like it should, because as we keep climbing up, you're at 23 inches of manifold pressure now. So you can go ahead and push that baby back up to 25, and we'll get climbing. And then same thing on the level out, just leave your power where it is. It doesn't even need to, doesn't need 100 feet to go.
35 downwind for ground traffic November 6244 is on left base, runway 20, Maryland.
Hanover traffic, replacing uniform is turning left
4,000 feet.
434, Hanover.
Power trim. And pitch, it's kind of just going to be right at that horizon. Just where you don't get a VSI indication. Now we're going to start to build at some airspeed. We can actually kind of leave our power setting kind of where it is. Or, if we were, say, by the book, we can practice our cruise. So our cruise would be throttled, we'll get that in a second. Mixture we can lean to about 10. I usually lean it, you lean this per fuel flow.
Right.
So I'm leaning this to about 10.5 just because I know that's where it's going to want.
For 34,
So there's 10.5 about, and now it's so easy to lean this thing. Watch your altitude. And then we can start to close our cow flaps. We just monitor our CHTs. And then we're going to start to get some good speed.
For a final approach runway 4 from the RNF.
What's that?
I
said, so I closed the cow flaps, we'll watch our CHT.
Oh, it just feels like you're descending.
I know. But yeah. And then if you're going a little fast, same thing, just pull a little power back. And say if we were at 5,000 feet, we wanted, they are loud as can be. And you wanted if you wanted 65% power, we'll set that manifold pressure to 22.6. Whenever you're nice and level. Actually, here's what we'll do. For a second, we're just going to kick on the autopilot. Alright, so we're going to go altitude. Actually, I want this too. So I want 4,000. Like that. And it should be taking your altitude from you. And then your track. Your track will track 330. So now autopilot's on. And this autopilot's a little weird, but I want to calibrate it real quick. No, I never said to, whatever, you're going to hold wherever you want anyways. So now we can set a little cruise power. So 22.6 on RPM. Or, I'm sorry, on manifold pressure. And then dial it back to 2300 on the RPM. What was it, 22.6, yeah, so you're right on 22.6, you're coming back, it's holding our altitude fine, and now you're just kind of monitoring with the autopilot.
Yeah.
It does a really good job, and right now you're just tracking, you're in track mode, and you're on altitude mode of 3,800, that's hence why it's starting to descend to 3,800. You're alright. So yeah, get it up to 23, or what did I say, yeah, 23. Slowly kind of move that back. And then this calls even for my 9.2 on the gallons per hour.
Oh, nice.
So we can move that up a little bit. Get a 9.2. Cruising. And then this should give us 139 knots true airspeed once we get this back to where it's supposed to be.
Or 130 now.
And this kind of dropped on you, so we'll go back, push it back up to 22. That's probably why. And once you move your RPM, your manifold pressure tends to move as well.
Right.
So now this will start to build some airspeed, and your true airspeed is going to be indicated here. We're going to get 136.
136, huh?
So it should start to speed up, and you'll get pretty darn close to that. So that's a cruise, and this is a normal thing. And the altitude, it kind of just goes back and forth. You kind of have to calibrate it somehow, and I forget how. Altitude hold, now I got it to 3,700. We'll go back up to 4,000, and we'll BS it at 300 feet a minute. So now it's going to climb for us. But that's basically a kind of a torque. This autopilot was very hard for me to get used to.
Oh, yeah.
So I couldn't imagine trying to just jump in it and go for that. But it does what it's supposed to do. It's tracking 330 right now, which is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, but it's just the altitude is kind of so up and down a lot of the times, and it has to be calibrated to where you're at, and for some reason it's not letting me do that.
That's weird.
Right? So let's go ahead and kick off the autopilot.
Alright.
So autopilot disconnect, you're flying again. Go ahead and trim it out and get us back up to 3,800 just for a safe altitude. And then whenever you're ready, do a couple clearing turns. We'll go right into a steep turn or two, slow flight, and stall.
Okay, so push us back over number 5 Tango Alpha, base final, Hanover. Alpha 34.
There you go. And heck, you're just fine. You're not going to over torque it if you're just off by that much. I'm going to put you up to 2,500 RPM. And then the power, you can just go for what's desired. Your maneuvering speed in this is 113 knots.
Okay. I give it a little bit more.
Yeah, you can give it a little bit more. So I haven't done too many steep turns either in this thing, just because it's such a good flyer, you forget to do a lot of maneuvers a lot of the time.
Okay.
And here, yeah, while you're going up, just go to 4,000. But do a nice level off at 4,000. So 50 feet before, start your level off. There you go. And then whenever you're ready, do a turn to the left, and then we'll turn back to the right to get us out of that sun.
You got the traffic in Warrington in sight.
That's just fine. There, that's perfect. Just leave it there, and then that'll give you...
Do a clearing turn?
Yep, do a clearing turn to the left.
And Warrington, 2 Delta Sierra, we're just on the simulated engine out, right base to 15. If there's traffic going to 33, we can exit for you.
But it's smooth. It's just so smooth. You don't even feel like you're in the plane.
For runway 33 Warrington.
Okay.
There you go. You can roll out. I'm not Dave Thompson. He loves the 360.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
That and checking under the, which I get.
I
but
get it
it's
too.
just like.
And then go ahead and do one more turn to the right, and then we'll point our nose at something and do a steep turn. Just pick any point you want to point it at for a visual reference. So this thing has a little more adverse yaw than a Cessna 172, so in a turn you almost have to pitch up just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've been climbing a little bit in the turn, so it'll yeah, it's alright. Point it at one of those hills and just identify one.
Alright, let's use that little mini one in the middle.
Mini one in the middle, I gotcha.
And 2 Delta Sierra, we're on the deck in Warrington. We're going to exit the runway off 15 here, so you should be good to go. We're turning clear right now.
Ask them what the deck is. Alright, so we got a thing out there. We'll do 45 degrees when you're ready. And just manage your power to keep your airspeed. So add a little power here at 30 degrees. Keep it coming to 45, keep it coming, and just a little back pressure. Keep it coming to 45, more and more. There, right there. Hold that right there. Your altitude's doing perfect.
15331.
Set this sight picture, and now just don't let that horizon move. And then whenever you want to reference inside, go back and forth. Kind of like an instrument scan, but you're visual. And then we're going to do a commercial one, so we're going to go right into the right one.
Okay.
So keep it down a little bit. You climbed about 100 feet. You're just fine, though. Your airspeed's good. There you go. And if you ever want to stop climbing, turn a little more, and that'll make your climb come back. Or if you're descending too much, turn a little less. So now once we come to this foothill right here, nose down, and then right into the right one. And then a little rudder, little right rudder. So nose down, right into the right one, little right rudder to stay coordinated. And then nose down, you nosed up a little too much, just to stay ahead of it. And now it's a different sight picture, but it's the same exact thing. So a little more in the turn.
Cessna 662 on final 33 full stop.
That's perfect. And then try to correct that airspeed, or air altitude a little bit. Or airspeed too. So just a little power out.
Maryland traffic, November 62244, turning left downwind, runway 20, Maryland.
Very nice.
Hanover traffic, Romo 5 Hotel Alpha, final 34, Hanover.
Still got a little bit to come.
Hanover. Left
Yep. See, the altitude can start to run away with you. And then just nose down a little bit in the rollout. That way you stay level. There you go. That wasn't that bad. Wasn't bad at all. We gained about 140 feet. That would still be, you're only 40 feet off a commercial.
Capture 436, Gulf left crosswind, runway 23.
Alright, so let's slow it up a bit. So let's go, we're going to maneuver, so we'll just go prop full forward. And you can feel it change, right? It just feels wild. And then we'll just power forward a little bit to 10. And now just slow it up. Start to dirty it up as well. And we'll do slow flight dirty. So we're going to do full flaps. You got 135 miles an hour, or 35 knots on the first 10 degrees.
Okay.
And then it goes to 95 miles an hour. That is a gear horn.
Yep.
Because you've retarded the throttle without the gear down. So go ahead and go to your gear down. Airspeed checks. Out, up, and then down. There you go. That's so you don't kick it. Now put a little more power in so you stop this airspeed from dwindling, and then let's dirty it up even more. So you got 95 knots, below 95, flaps all the way full. You can go full. And it's going to balloon you up like a normal Cessna. Let's stay at about 4,000, and let's throw it up, slow it down to stall horn. And then I want 5 knots above stall horn. So just slow it up until you hit stall.
3 miles south of the field. We'll be entering a direct left downwind runway 20 Maryland.
Air traffic 544
to traffic set.
Make it sluggish. Very sluggish.
Traffic Archer 436.
This thing loves to fly like a Cessna. There's stall horn, so power. No, not full, not full, not full. You're fine, just enough to keep you 5 knots above.
I see.
There you go, there's 55, so hold 55 as much as you can. And now give me a left turn now that you're in 55 and you're stable at 4,000. And if I'm going too fast too, just tell me shut up.
Alright.
It's just mushy on the controls, you just need a lot more. You feel a little buffet. It's your normal slow flight, really.
Yeah. Nice slow turns.
Yeah, I love the turns in this thing.
I forget, are you allowed to lose altitude in slow flight turns in check ride?
You are not, so you would just add power. Right. So this is going back to like landing in the airplane. Pitch for airspeed, power for altitude. So if you're losing altitude, just pitch up a little bit to hold your airspeed, but that also will give you a little bit of a climb.
Or stop the descent.
Yeah, and it climbs like a dog anyway, so you're just fine.
There it goes.
And then stop your turn. And now let's, so what we're going to do is we're going to stay on flow flight first a little bit while I explain this. But we're basically going to go right into a power off stall. So all we're going to do is we come in at 70 on a calm day. I pinpoint 75 to 80 on a windy day. Because you can come in fast and just lose your airspeed over the runway. And it's pretty easy to land. This thing's like a Piper.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to 70, so get your airspeed to 70 as much as you can. And then we're going to lower the nose, come into the descent, pull the power to idle, and then slowly pitch up until we get stall.
Okay.
Once we get stall, the recovery is, of course, nose down, full power, but when you do full power, just go up to like where you're at right here. You don't have to go up to anything crazy. You can just go to like 23 inches on the manifold pressure. And then you're going to work out your flaps. That's the biggest thing a lot of people remember. So, and you have to work them out before your airspeed just goes through the roof and past the limitation of the flaps.
Right.
Alright, so whenever you're ready, nose forward and pitch down for 70 knots. We're coming in on final. Dun dun dun. Go, we're coming in on final. We got an indication that we're losing altitude. So now just go power to idle, keep coordinated on the rudder, and pull back until we get a buffet. And then I want to go ahead and go to a stall. On stall, forward elevator, recover, and full power. Indication, easy on the ailerons.
Traffic K22, Whiskey, establish left downwind.
Indication, it wants to fly, keep coming back. Stall, forward. That's perfect on the power. Now start working out your flaps. Positive, or we're stop the climb, so flaps 20, flaps 10, and flaps up. And now let's start a climb at 90. You captured it perfect. So it stalls just like a Cessna.
Yeah.
It's nothing really crazy.
Honestly, it stalls harder than a Cessna, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like that thing kept, I know that maybe the beep just starts sooner, but.
Yep. It wants to fly. I mean, at the end of the day, every single airplane that we fly, really, it wants to stay in the air. It doesn't want to come down.
Warranty traffic, 362 Delta Sierra, left downwind, 33.
Alright. Do you want to do any more steep turns or stalls?
Yeah, let's do one more. Cool. Just for safety.
Sounds good.
So we're going to get a little bit more altitude.
Yeah, and actually make a whole 180. Get away from some traffic.
South County traffic, Yankee Romeo.
You say South County traffic? Is there an airport out there?
I don't think so. I don't know what he just said. I wish we had a replay button. On those G1000s, you do.
Oh, I did not know that.
So if you don't hear something, you can press replay, and it replays the last transmission. If you press it 3 times, it replays the last, the third to last transmission. Like, it's pretty darn cool. So if you don't hear something or you weren't sure that it was for you, you can just press that replay.
Sky.
Yeah, so at least get us up to 3,500 and then we'll start our next maneuver.
Skyhawk on simulated engine out. You landing?
Alright, there's 35.
So now let's just do the same thing. Dirty it up as soon as you start to slow down. Remember your flap speeds of 135 and 95.
Traffic 360 Delta Sierra, left base 33 Warrington.
We'll have traffic on final inside.
Still down.
Yep, and then it realistically too on the recovery of a stall, you would also do your gear, but that's just fine. All right, pitch down for about 70, which is just fine. We're just coming into land. We're simulating coming into land, and you can see we can come in and approach at 60 miles or 60 knots. But I like to have a little extra just to have it. All right, and then you can start to pull power and pitch up. Pull power, pitch up, and the biggest thing is just remain coordinated. No power, no power. Okay.
Oh, you said full power.
Oh, my bad. Pull power. Whoops.
Yeah. I saw something recently about that.
There it is. Indication. And get ready for stall.
Dinwiddie traffic helicopter, set my final.
Stall. Goes down. Pull power. And then start the first notch of flaps out. Positive rate. Positive rate, so get that nose up. Get that nose up. And then you can take that last flap out. So it's a little faster, the flaps are a little different.
Yeah.
What I normally do is I do first flap out immediately, second flap out whenever I have sufficient airspeed, and then third flap out when I have positive rate.
Yeah, it feels like it's real easy to just go all the way up.
Oh yeah, you can just slam those things up. I mean, it's almost dangerous that way because I mean you lose a lot of lift on these Cessnas whenever where you just throw the flaps, or actually in any plane as well. All right, so I'm going to vector you for an approach.
All right.
You don't by chance have boggles, do you?
Flight controls?
My flight controls.
I think I can reach it.
Dinwiddie traffic helicopter is 2 mile final runway 23. Searching for traffic on base.
Header traffic, Papa Foxtrot,
I'm going to get you to
34, header.
Thank you, Sporties. It's funny, I didn't use these at all during my...
Private?
Yeah.
Oh, instrument, you're going to...
I was like, oh yeah, I got some, but Wayne would just pull them out out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Pattern, are you coming into 1-5?
Yeah, we were going to use 1.5 for our pattern one.
All right.
But,
all right, your flight controls. Trim a little nose up.
No, we can do 1-5 because we're going to do a simulated engine failure after takeoff here.
All right, so November 309 Lima Lima, I will be air traffic control from now on. We're going to set you up for the RNAV GPS 15. So first, have you heard of the wired checklist yet?
I have not.
Okay, so the wired checklist is how you kind of set up for an approach. So first, weather. We have that basically, we already have our altimeter setting. We can check it on the way in just to double check as well. Second is instruments. So instrument approach. So what we're going to do is basically set our instruments. So we're going to go procedure.
I know you.
Select approach.
RNAV 15.
Yep, and then while you're doing this, level up.
Warrington, 2 Delta Sierra, we're on a...
And then we're going to go to Yagi.
Final 1-5.
And then we're going to go ahead, say yes, actually. There you go. And then go ahead and load it. So right now you're loaded, the approach is loaded. So what an air traffic controller is going to do basically is going to say, November 309 Lima Lima, vectors for the RNAV 15, not, they wouldn't say vectors because I'm not going to give you the vector to final. I'm going to give you the full approach. So we're going to say vectors to final, we're going to go direct Yagi. So give me direct Yagi.
Or the traffic disappointer.
On here. On here first, and then you can turn to it. Press in. And then direct, enter. You're just fine. Go clear. Just to go back. Go Yagi. Direct. Enter. Now it's going to draw a line for you right there. Now you're just going to basically, and I always line up the heading bug with it, so go ahead and give me a 360, basically to 055 for Yagi.
Traffic November 6, 2244 on...
What was the altitude for Yagi? Was it 42?
I believe it's 3,600.
Oh, okay. Wow, close.
I believe so. You don't have your tablet, do you?
No. You might be able to reach it. It's the top of the bag.
Alright. That's just fine. Mine's, of course, here, I'll just do the old school way. Oh, I did a private pilot. I just took out the old phone. And I'll kind of brief the approach and what our altitudes are, just to kind of relieve a load from you, and then we'll walk her through.
Runway 20, Maryland.
So I'm going to go to plates, or first I'm going to go to Warrenton. Procedure, approach, RNAV 15.
Traffic,
So 3,600 feet, we're going to maintain out of Yagi. Obviously, if you look on this map, this thing helps you out a lot. So we don't really have a direct entry to a Yagi. So we're going to have to do a course, what's called a course reversal.
Okay.
And in this instance, look, it already draws your racetrack pattern. You don't even have to do any thinking. So in this instance, it would be a parallel entry.
Okay.
So for a parallel entry, and how I know that, we'll get into that later. We'll basically turn left to line up on this course, which is 329. We're going to line up on the outbound. We're going to fly the outbound for a minute, which we can do with our timer here.
Right.
And then once we fly outbound for a minute, we're basically going to make a teardrop back to intercept the final. And then at that time, they'll clear you for the approach, so then you can go procedure, activate approach, and so on. And I'll just go back to this. So go ahead, keep that lined up. You can line this diamond up right on the arrow, and you are going to stay straight because that is accounting for the crosswind that you have right there. So basically turn a little more left and put that right on it. You're a little right, of course. See your little airplane?
Oh, I never noticed that. Well, actually, yeah, no,
Yep.
I knew that.
So basically you're right, of course, whenever it deflects to the left, but basically you need to chase it.
Yeah.
Cambridge traffic, Archer 1822 Hotel.
Alright, so we're currently 4.5 miles to a Yagi. At a Yagi, we are going to turn left. So this is a big thing to kind of stay ahead of the airplane. We're going to turn left at a Yagi to 329.
Here is left base.
So I bugged that for you, but now you're just going to keep that centered for the time being. And it's going to come up quick, so about 0.5 from a Yagi, we're going to go ahead and start that left turn. And then this is going to go ahead and do it for you too as well. And then I'll brief the rest of the approach with you once we start to get it. And yeah, just hold about 100 knots. 100 knots is good. And then once we're in on the approach, we'll slow it down to 90 and do an actual approach. And then once we get to minimums, I'll call and see, look, it's drawing your parallel, sorry. It's drawing your parallel for you. Once we go down to the minimums, 3,600 by the way, on the altitude. Once we go down to minimums, I'll have you pull your foggles off. I'm going to demonstrate the first landing. We're going to go around, and then we're going to come back in the pattern and just kind of beat up the pattern for a little bit until you're a little comfortable.
Thing just does not want to get back over.
I know. Well, you got to put this diamond on the left side of it, because that diamond is your wind correction. Your heading is where the nose is pointing you. The diamond is your track with the wind blowing it. So you got to basically just kind of get it back over.
Of course, it's like right when we get there.
So we're 1.7 miles from a Yagi. At a Yagi, what heading are you turning to?
Was it 330 you said?
Yeah, 329, but yes.
329.
So once we're about 0.5 miles, go ahead and start to turn that constant rate turn to...
Here, Cessna 382 Delta Fox, turning right base. 34, Carol.
So here you're 1 mile from Miyagi, 0.5 miles to go, and then you can start a turn. And see, it says left in 4, 2, 1, go ahead and left. Left at 329, standard rate. You can either use this right here, or you can use this first bar right here where your trend is.
Stop to go Warrenton.
And actually, that's perfect right there.
3-4. That was 3600. Yeah, now I'm on.
There you go.
120 feet low.
3,600. So just a little more power, and you'll get back up there. Now you're keeping this centered.
All right.
Carroll traffic, Cessna 382 Delta Fox, turn in final. Carroll.
Power off 183.4 camera.
So now put that diamond on the better side of it. So now we're going to fly outbound for a minute. I'm going to start this, clear it, and then start. So I started it a little late, but that's just fine. We'll fly outbound for 50 seconds, we'll say. So when we're flying outbound, get that 3,600 back, because altitudes they're going to be they're going to be very strict on you with altitudes and instrument.
I mean, you don't know what you're going to hit. So
exactly. So we're just simulating being in an IMC right now. So if 3,500 there's an obstacle, I don't want to be down there, obviously.
Right.
So just pitch up and trade a little airspeed for altitude.
Carroll County traffic, 0 Yankee Romeo.
Orange traffic 362 Delta Sierra, turning left downwind 15 Warrington.
Carroll County.
And then once this hits about 50 seconds, we're going to make basically, so this is how I do it. So I'm going to take your heading bug away, but we're going to make a left turn all the way around. We can't just make a left turn to right here because then we would be off the line.
Right.
So we would make a left turn to about 110 just to intercept it, and then we'll just get our thing back lined up. So there's 50 seconds. You can go ahead and start your turn. Constant rate turn, and we're basically just flying a course reversal. And this is what the G1000 will have as well, is basically a turn. It trends, it calculates your constant rate turn, because there is an equation for it, but it calculates it in real time.
Very convenient.
Very convenient. So right here you got 90 knots pegged, very good. Keep that 90 knots, keep this 3600, and keep that scan going. So, staying alive, staying alive. Kind of just to help your eyes move. There you go, you got a good power setting. You got a great power setting, it's doing exactly what you want it to do. So keep on turning, coming, so that way we can turn to 110, get this lined up, and once that comes in to line up, then we're going to come and track it as well. So you can go ahead and start a roll out, and you can tell here that you're going to intercept it at a nice angle before Yagi. Now at a Yagi, we are cleared to descend down to 2,200 feet.
Okay.
And actually I'm going to 309 Lima, you are cleared for the approach into Warrington. So now, oh whoops, that just gave you direct Yagi, so I messed you up, but you get the point. So our approach course is 138, 3,600 feet, so trade a little altitude for airspeed.
November 62244,
Airspeed for altitude.
runway 20 Maryland. Orange traffic 362 Delta Sierra, turning final 15.
Alrighty, so we're 1.2 miles from Miyagi, at Miyagi, so now to stay ahead of the airplane, I'm going to bug this next altitude, which is 2,200 feet. And basically, as much as you can do to kind of help yourself out and remind you so you don't have to just keep looking at this and you can stay on instruments, is that. And don't do it yet because we still haven't hit a Yagi. We have to hit a Yagi first. So just level out, you're fine.
Carroll County traffic, 0 Yankee Romeo, turning final 34, Carroll County.
Alright, so 0.3 to Yagi. At Yagi, we are cleared to stay, cleared for the approach. We're allowed to go down to 2,200 to intercept our glide path.
Around 15 will be a...
So this thing really tells on you, but it zooms in so much. So you pass the Yagi, now you're cleared down to 2,200. So gear is still down, gear is green, and actually we just left it down, which is just fine, but...
Should have put it back up.
No, just leave it down because we're going to, either way at the final approach fix, we would just put it down anyways. But once we're on the go, we're going to put it up and do it every single time with the traffic pattern.
Right.
So 2,200 feet, give yourself about a 500 foot a minute descent, and that'll give you a nice descent down to Yagi, or down to our final approach fix of Lippy. And I'm going to activate this again. Oh, you asshole. Are you sure you want to do... Yes, give me... No. Oh, this is why. Here, just keep your heading, sorry. Activate vectors to final. That'll do it for you.
Alpha is turning left base.
So we're 5 miles from Lippy. We have to be at 2,200 at Lippy. Your glide path is alive because it came up and popped up for you. So now you're just going to fly that little crosshairs to the ground. And then I'm going to line this up. I always line this up with my course, basically.
A little easier.
And then I'm going to go a descent checklist, which is landing lights on. And we'll put some strobes on, why not? Make ourselves visible. I'm going to go mixture rich, and then we'll do the rest of the gump check whenever we pass the final approach fix. Warrington traffic, runway Cardinal 309 Lima, currently on a 10-mile straight in, RNAV 15, touch and go, Warrington. Now we're capturing 2,200 feet, and you can even all look here too, because you can just get this diamond back, and it's very precise up there. And yeah, get a little bit of a headwind, and then get it back to 90 knots whenever you can. They're gonna be your CF double I is gonna be just so picky on some like it's gonna be annoying.
I mean, but it's something that's needed, you know.
Yeah,
like,
and
it's not like he's being an asshole about it.
It's a horrible way the altitude.
Oh.
It's a horrible way to start a friendship between the instructor because he's just gonna be in that right seat saying altitude, altitude, altitude. So trade a little airspeed for altitude. You're a little fast, so just trade a little bit. And that's the thing too. You don't have to. You can just keep a good power setting. Keep about 1800 on the manifold pressure. And that'll give you a good, good speed and altitude. So go back to 2200.
Hanover Unicom 353, Tango Alpha.
Stopping my descent.
There you go. So put the power back in and get back up there real quick. Right there.
Is there anybody else in this airplane at 5 o'clock?
Huh? All right. So we're currently 2 miles to Lippy. This is going to start to come in for us.
Roger. Thank you.
You're doing a great job at keeping your course. A little airspeed for altitude. Just get that back to 90 and get back to 22. So now we're waiting for our glide path to come in, and that'll identify our final approach fix. So it's coming on in. We'll do a gump check at 1 dot above. You're at 22, 90 knots, looking good. Course is on.
We're getting close.
1 mile from Lippy. Wait, Lippy doesn't matter anymore because now you have the glide path. Now you can just follow it down.
That was when you would make your call for
final approach inbound, basically. Keep that nose up because you're going to start to drop. Alright, so we're closing on 1 knot above, so let's do a gump check. Gas.
Right. Gas, make sure it's full rich.
Gas.
Undercarriage.
Gas.
Gas.
No, gas is both.
Oh, both. Sorry, yeah.
Gas, undercarriage.
It's down. Good.
Down and verify.
Down and
Locked,
verified.
down, no pump. And then mixture prop. So go ahead and mixture and full prop. And then just in time, and then final approach fix, 1 dot above, flaps 10.
Alright.
Now you're just going to follow this thing down like a video game. Just literally keep that dot right on that line. Right now it's saying you're a little below glide slope, so just level out here a little bit until that comes in. And you got a really good power setting in right now to keep your 90 knots. Very nice course. And our minimums today, by the way, you are cleared down to 527 feet. So now if I really wanted to, I'll bug 500 feet, or 600 feet, just to be safe. And so basically, whenever this hits 1600, I want to hear a call out for 1,000 above, 500 above, and 500 above, we'll do another gump check. We'll do gas both, undercarriage down and lock, mixture prop.
Alright.
And then we'll call 100 above, just so that way you're keeping track of your altitude.
Gotcha.
Watch your airspeed when you dip down too, so you can just kind of take a little power out. But get a better descent. Right about 17 and a half will give you a good descent. And you need to descend a little more, so maybe that's just not working. So we'll go ahead and go to 16. Forward to traffic, Cardinal, red and white Cardinal 309 on Lima. Lima is currently on a 4 mile straight in final. RNAV 15, touch and go, Warrenton. You're doing good. Only thing you can do is basically get your airspeed back a little bit. So just pull a little bit of power.
Turning left base for 15, stop and go, Warrenton. Warrenton traffic, 33 Alpha's changed plan. We're going to follow you in, sir, so continue your approach, Warrenton.
I appreciate that, sir. Cardinal is on a 3 mile straight in final, 415 RNAV, Warrenton.
I missed 1,000 above.
That's okay. That's okay. Get your 500 above right now. 500 above. We'll do another gump check. Gas is on both. Undercarriage is down and locked. No pump. Mixture prop. So now we're cleared ourselves to land basically right there. You're a little under the glide slopes, so pull up. Just trade a little airspeed for altitude again. Just trade a little airspeed, get it back to 90, and just basically kind of level out. Just because you're still descending a little bit. You're getting further away from it.
Number 2, stop and go, Warrenton.
Doing good.
Alright, 500 above.
Nope,
Oh, 300 above.
You're
200 above.
Don't dive, don't dive,
Oh,
don't
shit.
dive. That's alright. Just level out, let that thing come back to it. You're clear, you're number one to land.
Alright. 100 above.
100 above, good call.
There we go.
Course looks good. You've been flying that course nice.
33 Alpha is
It's just
turning
up and down.
final,
That's all right.
Go Warrington.
And then 527, so you can go all the way down to 527.
Alright.
Pull a little power out just to slow down a bit. And then go ahead and go visual. My flight control.
Ooh, yeah, my control's a little high.
Go visual, take those things off. So what we're going to do is we're going to add full flaps, speed checks, gears down. And now I'm going to pitch it back to about 70 miles an hour. And look how smooth this thing is. It's basically just like a Piper. I promise you, once you level out, it's literally just like a Piper. We're a little steep, but I got full flaps in and I have my airspeed. So I'm going to get my airspeed back. I'm going to leave this power right where it is, all the way to the runway.
Okay.
All the way, and then basically, because my speed's fine.
Yeah.
Basically what I'm going to do right here is just level out, start to work that power back. Work that power back, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off. Boom.
Boom.
Alright, so I'm going to go flaps to 10. Full power. And I slowly put this power in. It's just nicer on the engine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to watch my 2690 out, 2700, not good. And pull it off the ground.
We're off.
Now I'll just gain some airspeed just a little bit. Orange traffic, Cardinal 309 on Lima Lima's on the go, stay in the pattern. 15, warranted. And then no altitude remaining, get my gear up, please.
Gear up.
And then your flight controls.
Patrols.
Go ahead and climb out at about 80. Just pitch it back to 80. So your visual again. I thought you had goggles on again. I was like, what are you doing? And then we're going to stay in the pattern. Everything's going to happen a little quicker in the pattern, and you're at a safe altitude, so flaps up. So whenever you have gear, I've noticed it's a common mistake for everybody to forget the flaps, even myself, because you're already touching the gear, but it's just...
Then you go to flaps.
And then you just, And I'm going to open your cows, because we're on takeoff, just to make it nice and cool. And same thing, we're going to fly a normal pattern. Fly it nice and kind of close to the airport, because I've noticed this thing just drops.
Yeah.
It drops on the power off. But what you can do, since you have a constant speed propeller, instead of having all that drag out in front of you, you can pull the prop back. Alright, 1,000 feet, clear left. Warranted traffic, Cardinal 309, Lima, left crosswind, 15, warranted.
Maryland traffic, November 6,
Lima, Lima.
244 on
Lima,
Wednesday.
Lima.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say after a while. And then with this thing, so you don't get too far away on this crosswind, I just level out, check my downwind, and then go right into it. So level out here, check your downwind, and then just go right into it.
Oh, yeah,
And you can stay at 1,300, I'll bug it for you. Not that you're going to be inside, because we're back to visual. And then same thing, I pointed at Germantown Lake, but for some reason, I don't know why I can't see it right now. But
that is weird. I mean, it's the sun.
I think it's the sun, yeah. Warranted traffic, Cardinal 309 on Lima, left downwind, 15, warranted.
Bob would say full forward when you're doing pattern work.
Yep, full forward. You can kind of leave everything where it is. The only thing you're going to do every single time is get your gear up because you want to be aerodynamic on the climb, but your gear's already up. Same thing, a beam. We're going to go speed checks. What's that?
I said there's a lake.
Oh, good.
I just kind of see it.
Once we go a beam, we're going to go 90, 80, 70. Same exact
90,
thing.
80, 70, okay.
Same exact thing, so it's easy on the air speeds, and it's going to land just like a Piper.
Alright. What was gear down speed again?
125. Your operation
go.
speed and down speed is 125.
Okay.
And 135 on your 10 degrees of flaps. So you can go flaps first if you're not within gear speed, and then just kind of work it down. But you can tell you're just a little bit, it feels a little faster right here.
Yeah.
So everything happens a little quicker, but it's an airplane.
We're going knots instead of miles per hour.
Exactly.
So slightly faster.
Alright, so you're a beam. Let's go gear down.
Gear down.
Keep your hand on that handle. Pumps running.
Up.
In case it doesn't do it, you want it to indicate before you move your hand off the handle.
Alright.
And then go ahead and go flaps 10. And then move your power back to about 17 on the manifold pressure. And that'll give you a good descent. And then you'll just nose down looking for 90.
Warrington traffic, 33 Alpha is turning left downwind for 15 Warrington.
Looking good. Get that 90 back, and It'll do it eventually. And then whenever you're ready.
There we go.
Go turn, flap, call, same thing, but I'll do your call. Warranton traffic, Cardinal 309 Lima Lima, left base, 15, touch and go, Warranton.
Alright, gear still down, still on both.
There you go. And you can never do too many gum checks.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of anybody yell at anybody for a gum check.
I don't know, Dave seemed like he got kind of mad when I kept like wanting to do clearing turns.
Really?
Yeah, because I kept doing it like, after every maneuver. And he's like, no, we're still good.
Okay, as long as he says that.
Yeah.
And then turn, flap, call, same thing, you're at perfect airspeed. It's a nice calm day, I want you to just give me a greaser.
Downwind for 20 Ireland.
And now you can just kind of regulate. I don't mess with power too much on this thing, but if you're high, obviously you have to. So pull it back a little bit, but just know, if you ever pull the power back, just plan on that you're never going to get that power back in.
Right.
So just get yourself a good descent, you got a good airspeed, it's going to land like a Piper. See good?
Yeah. Alright. You call final?
Yeah.
Okay.
Warranton traffic, Cardinal 309 Lima Lima. Final, short final, 15, touch and go, Warranton. Thanks for the reminder. See how the pappy lights just went out?
Yeah, what is that?
It's the lights.
3 Alpha is turning left base for 15, Warranton.
Alright, perfect airspeed, perfect descent. Get a little bit more power out so that way we can start dropping, but don't pull it all the way out because you want to land with power.
Right.
This is just perfect, man. I mean, you couldn't be better. Now just level out, look down that runway. Look down that runway, slowly work your power out, and don't let it land. Do not let it land. Don't let it land. Too much on the nose up, but that's just fine.
Oh, the bounce.
Traffic 3
That's all right.
Alpha is turning final.
Flaps 10.
5, stop and go, Warranton.
On the go. Right rudder. There you go, and then you're going to just do, say, power set, and that's about it on the roll.
Power set. Rotate speed.
And then just level out for a little bit, and then your discretion on gear up.
Alright. Still got a little runway left.
There you go.
Alright, gear up.
Toto wanted to raise it immediately, and that's just where you get that as a multi thing.
Bad habit.
It's a bad habit, multi thing. If I ever wanted to pick a field, I want my gear down. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, as much as crap I watch on YouTube, that's like one of the biggest things.
Biggest things. Single engines, and no runway remaining gear up.
Yeah.
Multi engines, rotate gear up. Or positive brake gear up.
Alright.
There you go. Alright, so this one's going to be yours. I'm just going to sit here, look pretty, and make your radio calls. And then actually climb up to 1,500 feet.
15? Okay.
15, and then we'll drop down using spoilers to 1,200.
Alright, that'll be fun.
Just to deploy them. Man, it's a calm day too. I wish it was windy as hell.
What?
Give a little challenge. I mean, come on. This is just like riding a bike.
They're pretty far out. Alright.
They're in that 195. That big tail wheel.
What is it?
Yeah, that's what that is.
Who, the guy behind us?
Yeah, that's Ken, the owner of the flight school.
Have I met him?
You probably have. You just probably haven't realized it.
What is it?
Yeah, kind of a bigger dude. I'd say just like a beer belly, and then normal looking
What
white.
car does he drive?
The golden Nissan.
Yes. Okay, yeah. No, I have met him.
Go ahead, make your turn so we don't get too far. Warranton traffic, Cardinal 309 Lima Lima. Turn rolling out on left down 15, touch and go, Warranton. Basically, I want to do the pattern a lot just to make sure you're good with the gear.
Yeah.
And really just normal operations.
No, I mean, I think this is probably one of the things you should do a lot of in a new plane.
In a new plane.
Oh, there's 15.
You're fine, just go ahead and level out. Keep a little power. I mean, you can kind of throttle it back so you're not operating at max power. There you go, and then go ahead and get your deploy spoilers and get down to about 1300. So it only deploys whenever you're holding it and you get an annunciator. And now look, it doesn't mess with your airspeed. It's messing with your altitude.
Oh, that's so
which
crazy.
Is so nice. I mean, it is so nice. If it messes with the airspeed, that would be bad.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you don't really want speed brakes in this. Boom. And then now they're retracted and you can just feel it. Kind of cool.
Awesome.
Right? Only one of 2 Cardinals that have it.
That's such a wild thing to think of, too.
And there is no limitation on airspeed to where you can use spoilers.
Wow.
So if you wanted to really slow down, I mean, you could just aggressively pull up and use spoilers and it'll probably mess with your airspeed, but that's just pilot input.
Especially if you're too high on approach.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, here comes the beam. And the big thing they're going to be on instrument 2 is airspeed checks, and then do what you're going to do.
Right.
So 125, below 125.
Good. Alright. Gear down.
Pumps running. And green.
We got our green.
And then if you wanted to, too, I haven't been doing this, but look out your window. I got a wheel.
Alright, wheel. I guess you can't see the front.
Yeah. And now start a little descent. About 18 on the manifold pressure gives you a nice descent to start with, and then you can kind of manage it out. But you don't want to take out all your power. That's the biggest thing. Just pretend like you can't get it back once you take it out.
Oh, yeah.
So whenever you're ready, go ahead and turn your base.
Turn it now.
Warranted traffic, Cardinal 309, only Lima, left base, 15, touch and go, warranted. Turn flap call, very good. Little far out for comfort because if you lose your engine here, you're just not going to make it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we're in Warrenton, we're not in a city, but...
Still not good practice to make.
Exactly, that's all it is, just good practice.
Alright.
100.
Did I just hear something say 500?
No, I don't think so, I hope not.
Maybe,
I mean, we are kind of like 500 above altitude.
Someone on the radio just said it.
Either that or they're acting as a radar altimeter for you. Alright, so you're a little high, good on airspeed, but this power setting right here, don't take any more out because you're going to start to sink. But see how calm this is?
Yeah.
This is too calm. I want a 20-knot crosswind for you.
Maryland traffic, November 6,
I tell you, I was worried about the sight picture, but it's fine.
It's like the Piper.
Yeah.
I feel like the cowling looks exactly like the Piper's too. It doesn't look like a Cessna 172. Alright, so whenever you come in, this same thing, just no floating. So just kind of look down the runway and just kind of judge on your peripherals how high above and what's your descent rate. Because that'll determine how much you need to pull back. And really, I look out the front more than I do the peripherals, just to kind of judge. Perfect on airspeed, good descent rate, right on clock.
November 6, 2244, turning left at downwind for runway 20.
Slowly start to work out your power and point that nose at the runway a little bit. But slowly, there you go. Now you just do your level out. Slowly, slowly, slowly. You're alright. Butter. Butter, man.
Oh!
On the go. We'll go do one more.
Alright.
I didn't do a thing.
Power set. And rotate.
I mean, this thing's a little squirrely on the wind. We had a really hard crosswind at first. We went to first flight yesterday.
Yeah.
So I had a really hard crosswind. But it just wants to descend a little more when you have that much of a headwind.
Oh,
so
yeah,
the power is just,
Gear up?
have to. Gear up.
Feels like it just boosts you up.
Yeah, right?
Alright, I'll do flaps up.
Flaps up.
And let's get the 90.
And it does kind of climb like a dog. It doesn't climb very well, but I mean, heck, still just a nice flying plane.
Oh, no, it's beautiful.
Oh, so smooth. And looking out the window with no wing strut,
Oh, I know.
you can actually see the ground.
Maryland traffic, November
Perfect for
6,
cameras.
2244, turning left.
Yeah, exactly.
Runway 20, Maryland.
Clear left. And this one you can kind of cheat a little bit at a lower altitude, but it's just to stay close to the airport. Because, I mean, I've noticed literally power offs in this plane is crazy. Like, it just drops.
Oh, yeah.
It drops.
What's heavy? What's its weight?
Believe it's not much more. I think it's like 2,600 compared to 25.
Oh, wow.
62244
Actually,
on final runway
let's see what we got here.
Maryland.
Yeah, I was looking for the POH in the binder, and then I saw that, and I was like, ah.
All right. You're good.
5,500.
Just keep a little closer to the runway this time, and other than that, looking good. Maximum certified weights is on 14.
Warning traffic, Cardinal 309 Lima Lima, turn left now 115, warranted.
And your radios from now on. 2,800 pounds.
Ah.
Okay, so it's 300 pounds more. What in the world? The maximum baggage loaded is 120 pounds, but it says including the hat shelf. I don't know what a hat shelf is.
Oh, well, maybe like kind of like this, but for back there, like just like a dash.
Oh, okay, makes sense. There is a little shelf back there too, and I think it's where the wheel comes up.
7 miles northwest of the field, we'll be entering on the left downwind for runway 34, Hanover.
Yeah, I mean, once you get to it, it's not.
Yeah.
I think it's probably cruise, if anything. I just knowing what to set this at.
Well, that's all in here too.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally all your power settings are in here, and just once you cruise, you fly the airplane first. But once you're in cruise and you set the autopilot, then you can start really tweaking this cruise guide.
All right.
A beam, speed checks. Then flaps 10 immediately. And is your gear down?
Gear down.
One green.
Undercarriage.
Just audibly say green.
Yeah.
Gear down and green.
Good thing to get you too.
Yep. Then go ahead and turn your base.
Traffic November 62244, turning left crosswind for runway 20, Maryland.
Warning traffic, Cardinal 309 Lima Lima, turning left base for 15, full stop, warranted. Do you hear that beeping?
That is the strobes.
Oh, okay.
It's I want to say it's common in Cessna, then I don't know why.
6 Echo does it, but Wayne always just turned it off. Now it's like from the start, so I just never really.
I normally turn it off, but we're getting close to sundown, so
Yeah,
I just kind of leave it on. I turned it off yesterday and cruise all the time. Forget that.
Final's clear.
500.
But you notice
Yeah,
how
500, I heard it.
I just heard 500.
Warning traffic, Cardinal 309 Lima Lima, turning final for 15, full stop, warranted.
That's crazy.
And warning traffic, got your 151 golf is.
Have you never heard it before? Maybe it's something in here you can turn up so you
Never
can
heard it before. You're looking good. Only thing is maybe just speed back, and that's
Speed.
not.
Get on center.
Good, your speed's coming back nice. It'll come back eventually with that.
I love where this trim is, though.
Yeah.
If I have to do a nose wheel, or a wheel like that, that's
It's just so handy being right there. You're good on that?
Traffic, got your 151.
You can leave your power where it is.
7 miles out to
Good on airspeed.
straight in for the R915, warranted.
Another greaser. Power all the way out. That's all right. Still not bad at all. And then what we do in the Cardinal too, I do, but it's not good practice.
Yeah.
Flaps up on landing, so that way you can have authority on your brakes.
And we do gear up too.
Oh, whoa!
What was it? Let you do it?
It's just stress. It depends. Or we would have to read up on that. Does it have a squat switch?
I would hope so.
I would hope so as well. So there's, we'll get into the switches on the taxi out. I'll just.
Because it has the light safety.
Cow flaps are open. Your after landing checklist is complete.
Alright, thanks, sir. Warning traffic, Cardinal 309 Lima is clear of 15, warranted. Clear left, clear right.
Clear left, clear right. So there's a couple switches in the gear. So the gear has normally, it depends on the plane as well. So some don't have a squat switch. Like the Tecnam, the twin Tecnam, didn't have a squat switch, and it was sketchy as anything, because the gear, instead of being offset to the right, it was like right here, right where your knee is. And I was so scared that I was going to hit it with my knee on the ground, and we were just going to...
Oh, wait, is that the twin?
Yeah.
That's got the Rotax.
Rotax engines, only 100 horsepower. Same thing with that one. It's a nice plane, but it climbs like a dog, because you only got 100 horsepower on each end.
Yeah. Wait, I think that can run on...
Yep.
Just regular
old fuel.
Warrington traffic, Cherokee 55 Alpha Zulu, about 4 miles out
I think it's too late. Yeah, that's way too
southwest, and making a right teardrop entry.
So this one more than likely has a squat switch. It's basically whenever there's weight on the wheels, you're not allowed to, it just won't actuate it. This is electronically actuated, mechanically operated.
Right.
You have an up limit switch, that's why you get a gear unsafe, and then it extinguishes whenever the up limit switch is activated, because it's when it's saying that the gear is up. Sometimes you can have one on each wheel, sometimes it's maybe just one main gear, one nose wheel. Gear down, normally you have down limit switches that are all 3 gear. So once you get one, normally it's 3 green, gear down 3 green. This one's just 1, so it's basically all those switches are good, or all those switches are depressed, so that means you got down and locked gear. And basically, I mean, other than that, it's an airplane.
Yeah.
I mean, it flies like a 172.
This is beautiful.
Heck, I'd say, honestly, it won't take much for you to get checked out in this. Just maybe a windy day, practice some landings, do a couple more, maybe do a small cross country so we can get you loaded up in the GPS.
Oh yeah, I'd be down.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably too old.
What's that?
To sync up. But yeah, you just go on the other one, you just go into settings.
Yeah.
And Bluetooth's going to be on. Honestly, you probably just go into your iPad.
You're good.
Go into your iPad and go to Bluetooth and find the tail number.
And find this. I know you can Bluetooth to this.
Yeah.
So I wonder, and this talks to these. See how?
So maybe you can.
So maybe you can't. See, because our approach is in on this one, and I didn't touch this one all the time. So I wonder if you can just send it to this, and then it sends it to that. You more than likely can.
I mean, now I just don't know if I would assume Garmin's not that much of an asshole about Garmin or 4Flight syncing to it, but
you got an E6B here too. Oh, data link information. Is that what it is?
No, that's GPS, I think.
Oh, okay, interesting.
GPS and TISB. So
you can go over his plane. Or go over his car. You'll be all right. Clear right.
Order traffic on 217.
Clear left.
315.
Warrington traffic, Cherokee 555 Alpha Zulu.
Barely actually clears this car.
The midfield and making a right teardrop entry to runway 15 Warrington.
Aircraft profile. Oh, it's unnamed. Oh, what the hell?
How would that not be set up?
Right?
I love avionics. Like, I could just stay there and play with it all day.
We were playing with it yesterday. You can actually go into the setup of it, and we posted the V-speeds yesterday on the, so you have that little VR right there.
It wasn't even on there?
It wasn't on there before. We kind of just messed with it. You're fine. Clear right.
Warrington traffic, business liner 9833 Alpha is 9 miles to the south. I'll be passing east of 33 at 2,000 feet and entering a left downwind for 15 Warrington.
There we go. We're going to name it. All right, a-hole. Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. And you can just turn left to get parallel. And I'll chalk you whenever we get out. It'll be fine. Alright, so shutdown checklist. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's landing.
Leave beacon on.
I leave beacon on. Okay. After landing, CalFlex flaps up, train spotter, we can put to standby if you can. Radios, we'll just go avionics master off.